deploy Support Team Assistant to multiple devices at the same time using PDQ deploy, the first thing we want to do is install the software on a device that you're going to use as your golden image, your master, and then we're going to browse to this folder, Program Files x86 Support Team Assistant. What you're looking for are these XML files at the end, okay, if you sort by type. The most important one that we need is email settings. If you're using the standard version, you're going to want your activated license, your unlimited license file. If you're using the advanced version of the software, you're going to want the recipient's XML. And then regardless of which version you're using, optionally, if you want the ability to disable the right-click menu to have settings show up, so if you don't want end users to be able to view or edit the settings of the app, you also want to copy this file. So we would copy all 4 of those and put them into a shared folder somewhere on your network where all the devices have access to. It can't be something that requires admin access or anything like that. That needs to have read access to the folder. So this is a server that we have on our network. If you have multiple departments, multiple sites, then you'd want to create a different folder for each of those sites, and you're going to have a custom email settings file for each of them. Let me show you what we'll do. We want to edit by right-click and edit, which brings up Notepad. And what you would do is you'd fill all the pertinent information out for your email server. But what you would change is the customer ID. So if you have different sites or departments like we do, you would put in the name of that department, clinic, whatever site in here. If you're an MSP, you would put your customer's name in there before installing it to all their devices. Okay, so that's how you would customize that. If you're using the advanced version, you would right-click and edit. You put in up to 3 different destinations. So if you have different departments for support, like computer, software support, facilities, that kind of stuff. And if you want to disable the settings menu or screen, you can go in here and change this to true and save it, and then that will have that will remove the settings from the right-click menu. Okay, so this is how you pre-stage it. You have your installer and your pertinent appropriate files in a shared folder somewhere. Next, you would go into PDQ deploy, create a new package. We call it Support Team Assistant. When we edit the package, it's going to have multiple steps. First step is going to be pointing it to the MSI on that shared folder. Don't need to change anything else, leave it default. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy the appropriate files over. So we're going to do a file copy step, point it to that email settings folder. This is the folder you want to copy it to, that same one that we originally got the file from, Program Files. Okay, and make sure to set them always to overwrite and ignore. Everything else can stay default. If you have the standard version, you'll do the same thing with the license file. If you want to disable the settings menu, you would do the same thing with the setting config file. And if you have the advanced version, you're going to copy the recipient's file, always making sure that you're overwriting. Okay, lastly, also an optional step, if you want the installer to also run the application when it's done, to do the first run, you can add this step 6. It'll be a command step, and just copy that directly in there. Make it exactly like this. If you just try to run it by just running the executable in a single line, it will just say running forever. It will never actually complete when you run the package. So this is the only way to do it in a way that returns a success code. So we do have to do it this way. And the other thing of note, if you're going to use the run program, run it at the end, it's imperative it won't work unless you go to the options tab and change it to run as logged on user. Everything else can stay default. So remember, logged on user, it has to be exactly like this, and then save your package. And when you deploy it, it will install it and run it with the settings that are in these configuration files.